Welcome back to Twice Half That. I think I'm Anthony.
And I'm the true GOAT, Joe Montana. Apparently he did a lot of coke.
I mean, based on the time that he was at his heights, that makes sense. That was the drug.
And talk about a PED.
I wonder if he did lines with LT.
Probably.
Like in the off season?
Maybe. I mean, they're all friends. Who's the other one who apparently did a lot of coke?
Oh, and
Marino. That's why he went lower in the draft.
I mean, Miami. And then he came from Pittsburgh where there's nothing else to do.
Let's do rail, man. Like, fuck that.
But before we get going, so for the second time in 3 weeks, apparently the audio didn't record to be able to post onto any of the audio things. So those of you who actually wanted to listen and missed it last week,
Gotta
go to
the YouTubes. The YouTubes. I forgot what that's what I wanted to talk about.
Lines of coke.
Yeah. What's his name? Lines of coke, Antonio Brown.
Oh, God. I still haven't seen. I've only, read little snippets, but... Bro. Yeah. I mean, we already knew... Goddamn fucking wall. It's, digging in. We already knew you were off.
Yeah, who was it? One of his teammates said he needs a legitimate help, and he does need legitimate help.
And it's like that. I really do. I agree with everyone that said it. That hit from Vontaze Burfict fucked him up.
It rattled his cage.
It really did. It knocked a lot of shit loose. Because he may have been a dick before that. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm not around him. I just see him on Sunday.
Or Monday or Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And occasionally a Saturday.
Or Tuesday, Wednesday.
No. Do they have Tuesday, Wednesday again? I was about to say.
But it wasn't until, following seasons, subsequent seasons, that you really started seeing some of this outlandish behavior. And now, granted, people do change, especially when they hit a certain level of income when they've never been there, or even if they have been there. So there are other factors, but he went super far off.
Yeah, he went off the deep end.
Hard.
Normal shit you wouldn't think, he would do really, really started messing him up. And just look at the way Brady handles the situation. What he said was out of pocket. That was disrespectful as fuck, especially for someone who went out of their way and brought you into their home,
literally into your home, into his home. So those of you who don't know, Antonio Brown started off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I was about to say the Pirates, wrong sport.
No, it was the Pirates. Steeler Pirates.
And he was one of, if not the best receiver for a good 3, 4, 5 year run. And then he took a nasty hit from the Bengals' Vontaze Burfict. And, he ended up getting suspended for 10 games for it, which is still more than Deshaun Watson got for sexually harassing and,
Well, with some assaulting, because if you grab the back of their head and you make them go towards your crotch, that could only
sexually assaulting, harassing, and he only got 6. So that's not the point, but it needs to be brought up every chance it can because you're a piece of shit. So he got suspended. He was out for a while, Brown was. And after that, he started acting out a little more.
He became way more eccentric.
Yeah, extremely eccentric.
Before, he was charismatic.
It almost felt like overnight. Now, granted, it wasn't because he was out of the light for a little while recovering. And he ended up having a falling out in Pittsburgh, going to the Raiders, even though I'm guessing he didn't really want to go there. And he didn't go there by choice. He was traded. And
But by all accounts, him and a lot of, the people there got along. And then by the end, he's like, I forgot what he said.
He said it's something along the lines of calling the GM.
Like, I'm glad I'm out of there. And like,
well, and he came into camp and, like, in the most, like, over the top way. So at that time, I believe the Raiders were still training in Napa. And he showed up to camp in a hot air balloon. Like, that's how he arrived to camp.
Oh, yeah. Fucking God.
And then he missed a huge chunk at the beginning of camp in preseason because he burned his feet in a cryo chamber. And then, like, there was just all these things. And then he was being held out because he didn't want to change his helmet to a new approved helmet. He wanted to use his old helmet and blah, blah, blah. So it was this whole big thing. And there was a lot of speculation that he was just using that as an excuse. And then he got into an argument with the GM on the sideline and called him, I think he called him a cracker.
Yeah, he did.
And his GM happened to be white, so it was, so it was very thought out. No, probably not even. It was probably more reactionary. Although
she's stupid.
I wouldn't put it past him it being like a stage, like in his head stage, not like that the GM was in on it, but he had that whole thing planned out. They ended up fucking cutting ties with him. He toiled around for a little while because there was allegations that he exposed himself to someone who was doing like painting at his house or something like that. And then that didn't really go anywhere. He ended up with the Patriots with Tom Brady. And Brady literally opened his home and had him stay with him for the remainder of the season. Mind you, Brady's got 2-3 kids, married, all that. Opens his doors to a guy, like, I'm sure they've had interactions before, but I don't know how close they were prior to that. And and then he did the same thing when he went to Tampa the following year, and then basically had Antonio Brown. The coach did not want Brown. Brady essentially said,
I want him.
Bring him in. And this was like partway into the season, and it was finally like, all right, they broke down, brought him in. And again, he opened his home to him. And then last season, he had a massive breakdown on the sideline and refused to go into the game because he felt he wasn't healthy enough. They were telling him he was. There was all this back and forth, and they basically said, if you're not going to get into the game, get out of here. So he tore off his jersey, tore off his pads. I'm sure you've seen or have heard about, the shots of him, blowing kisses to the crowd, all this shit while the game's going on, and his teammates are out there. And then he later came and spoke on Tom Brady and essentially, more or less called him a snake. And like, he got his boys paid, what about me? It's like, bro, he brought you in twice when nobody else would touch you with a 10-foot pole.
And then you kept
He used the clout that he's built up over 20 years and said, bring him in. And then you fuck up. And then you end up at today, or, not today, it happened within the last few days, where, I mean, again, I haven't seen it, and I've only briefly read about it, so you probably have more on it.
He was in, where was he?
I think it was
Dubai. I was going to say Delhi. No, not Delhi. He was in Dubai.
Yeah, because I heard about the whole, he got kicked out of a Dubai hotel for rubbing his ass on a chick and then exposing himself.
Putting her ass in her face, and then he was in the pool, like,
is this a chick he knew, or is this some random ass chick?
Some random chick at the pool. He's just stroking his fucking dong, just straight up and down.
In the hotel pool. Like, this isn't his pool at home. This is the pool at the hotel, where everyone's sitting around, just sitting there stroking it.
Yeah.
Like, that's not normal. And that's not something, at least that we know of. I mean, teams and leagues are very good at covering stuff up, so maybe he's always been that, and like this hit just kind of jarred it loose to where he doesn't have any control over realizing this isn't a dark area, I'm right in the middle of everything. But it's Yeah.
He got a big problem. He's just as crazy as Kanye, you know, and I really do believe those hits, because they are in the NFL, you know, the average hit is about, well, I'll even scale it down from what sports science said. It's like, you know, sports science said 30-mile-an-hour car crash almost every tackle in the NFL.
I like that show.
So it was a great show. So you got to pull,
especially when it was his own show before it just became a part of Sports Center. Like they had their own show, so you get like a full half hour. It was
great. And you know, you knock it down 10 miles an hour. That's a 20-mile-an-hour car crash. Look them up. That's pretty damaging to the human brain.
Well, and especially since it's like, at least there you have some protection to where you're hitting soft stuff unless you hit the steering wheel. There's the ground's the softest thing you're hitting.
Yeah, and that could be.
And really a lot of the injuries come not from the initial hit, but it's from when they hit the ground and your head whips.
Yeah, when you hit this object we cannot move with our body called Earth. Yeah. That motherfucker don't play. And look at Kanye. Kanye got in that car accident, and it really, it jumbled his shit.
That dude is.
He was so into music though that it barely touched that. That's so ingrained into him.
And he hasn't been making as much music, and it's.
Yeah, he really hasn't. And that's,
so I wonder if now that you mention that, like I didn't even think about that. But when it initially happened, he was making music like crazy. He was producing for himself and other people, and putting out stuff. So that was like right when we was starting to jump off. Like in the immediate aftermath of the car crash is really when he blew up. So I wonder if like he was doing so much stuff, like staying busy so much with music, that it was therapeutic for him, and it allowed him to keep focused on that. And now he's not making as much music, and a lot of the stuff he's making now is kind of fucking out there, dude. Like I
wouldn't know. I don't.
I've only seen a couple things. Like I was never a big Kanye fan. I thought he was extreme.
I don't listen to music. Period. Like, I don't know anything contemporary right now.
Well, I just mean in general. I was never a big fan of his. I thought he was extremely overrated. People laud him for being different or this or that. His lyrics are.
I still listen to Coog Nut. Look him up. He's awesome.
But it's like his stuff isn't otherworldly. Like he's not a great lyricist. He's not a great his delivery. It's not like he ain't smooth like Snoop, or he ain't got the flow like he's.
Yeah, for me, I'm not a big Kanye fan.
But like, I will give it to him. He's a hell of a producer.
Yeah,
he's got a musical ear. That's for damn sure. Or at least he did. He's a hell of a producer, and that could there's a lot of people like that. They're great producers. They're not great, singer. I'm not going to say performers, because they could get up on stage and have great stage presence, so that makes you a good performer. But what you're putting out there as your own music isn't great. And so I was never a big fan of his. I thought he was extremely overrated, but it's like he did have some head boppers. Like, I mean,
he's no Rick James, but
no. Like, I wouldn't even call them bangers, because they really didn't slap or anything. They were just cool. But he hasn't made as much. So I'm wondering, like, now that you've brought it up though, like, I wonder if that has played a role in more of the personality that you're seeing right now, because it's not being preoccupied. Because it is like you had him go way off, like from being kind of out of the political picture to being a huge MAGA guy, and then talking about slavery being a choice, and then he goes from Black Jesus and all about this to slavery was a choice.
What?
And then the shit you just sent me.
It's like, well, technically, it was the choice of the motherfucker who's like, you know what? Let's go enslave those people.
I mean, it was a choice, just not a choice of the enslaved.
Yeah.
I mean, so technically, I guess technically he's right. Slavery was a choice. But it wasn't the choice of the enslaved. The only choice they had was to take their own life.
Yeah, you couldn't even do that.
Yeah. So, speaking of slavery, like a little tangent, go figure. Do you see that shit in, I think it was like Yuba City or some shit. A bunch of, like, basically a school's football season had to get canceled because a bunch of kids got kicked off the team for having a mock slavery auction with their black teammates.
Why would their teammates participate in that? I'd have beat the shit out of somebody who fucking...
Like, I don't know. Like, the only thing that I could think of logically is there's not many black kids at that school. They're underclassmen, and they were kind of intimidated into it. That's the only thing I could think of. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, I haven't seen the video. I haven't, I was just I read a story about it and saw it. So, I don't know if it's a situation where, there's a shit ton and they were just like, ha 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 ha. But
I know, ha 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 ha.
No, I'm talking about, like, the black kids.
Yeah. If I'm there, I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm out of here. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. So
and now, during practice, when I hit you, I'm gonna fucking hurt you. And yeah, I know it's coming back, but guess what? You're gonna meet it every motherfucking time. Because that right there, it's a true mark of low intelligence. Oh, your skin color. I have a very loose grasp on history. Well, you guys were slaves, and it's all like, yeah. And before that, a lot of white motherfuckers were slaves to the Muslims. A lot of fucking, like, white people, mostly white people, were slaves to, guess what? Other motherfucking white people.
Yeah.
So...
And if they weren't slaves, they were indentured servants, which is about a half tick above a slave.
Yeah, and when you come to that whole argument about intelligence, it's all like, well, the first empire was Egypt. And there's a bunch of other empires that, grew up in Africa and died out in Africa and the Middle East, before it branched out to any other fucking people. Human history is quite deep and long. You motherfuckers are tripping if you think, the shit that we're finding now is that's the game. No, dude, it took a long motherfucking time to get to where we are now, civilizationally. Yeah, where and then just as a species, it took a really long time to get to where we are now. And we've primarily been hunters and gatherers majority of the time.
Yeah, the whole settling and growing.
Go look up.
Like, the development of agriculture is relatively young in the scale of human and pre-Homo sapiens sapien.
The shit that we would speak. Go look up Sumerian tablets talking shit about, like, look at this hunter-gatherer ass dumbass mother. You don't even know how to farm, bro. Look, look. From the river, coming through my crops, back around, back to the river. It's called irrigation, you dumb hunter-gatherer. Man, get out of here. Get out of here, horse person. Go. I can even write. Look at this. Blam, blam, blam. I'm not even going to talk to him. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to let this little fucking clay tablet dry. And then in, 2 days when he comes up and he reads this, he's going to know. He's going to know. And I'm going to tell him, and it's going to say to come and slap you. Wait 2 days. And then 2 days come, that dude's just all like, man, that guy's talking a bunch of shit. I just came and asked, bow, what the fuck? And then it's all like, see, I told you, he read the tablet. And that was pretty much the Sumerians. And then that slap became, a sword. And they just started butchering niggas. And, humans are, we're pretty cool. And it took a long time to figure out I can make, those, weird iron things that are left over from the fire. If we get the fire hot enough, I can melt that down. If I melt it down,
which is impressive in and of itself, that they they got to that point, but also, like, just using what they had in a little flint starter or a friction starter to start the fire.
How long did it
get
take
it
us
that
to learn that?
hot?
Before it was just keep the fire. Keep the fire.
To get it, like, to build essentially a furnace.
It's hard to get shit that hot.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they were able to do that. Like, now we can cheat. We use gas. We have all these other things that's real cool.
Megatron?
What the
Did that
fuck?
shit just crap out?
No, it's
that's
still
going.
recording.
That was awesome.
So on
Do it
YouTube,
again.
you couldn't hear it. We just got some weird feedback in our headphones.
Yeah, it went all
and it
digital.
sounded like fucking Megatron or fucking Optimus
no.
or something.
The satellite in whichever number it was in, the satellite that talks. I think Dark Side of the Moon. That one.
I think it was Dark Side of the Moon.
God, those movies were shit. Okay, look, redo them. Only this time, tell Spielberg quit being lazy and actually direct the whole fucking movie. And
Michael Bay, stay away.
well, Michael Bay's not. I didn't know this. You know, you want to know why his explosions and shit are so big? Because Second Unit does it. He doesn't do that. That's Second Unit. They're just all like, he's like, I don't want to have to fucking film this again, so go. And I mean, if you're Second Unit, that's my first time. Oh, what? I get to direct it? What? Fuck yeah. Okay, so it calls for 20 explosion. I want to add 90 to that.
Times 3.
90. Like, I want a big. Go get the Tsar Bomba. Go call Putin. You know, but, you know, do it in the ocean. I don't want to hit Ukraine. Fucking, shit like that. So that's where he comes from. But you could have did better shit with fucking Transformers. But we were originally talking about Kanye and I gotta bring it back. Trying to learn how to do that. It's hard when.
And believe me, even when we do, we don't.
Yeah, I gotta learn to Hansel and Gretel, not just fucking wander off like, ooh, look at that, ooh, look at that, ooh, look
piece
at
of
that,
candy,
ooh, look at that.
Piece of candy.
It's like, where are we? Oh, shit. Oh, I think we walked through a Stargate. Now we're like extremely far away. But, yeah, Kanye, he it's just sad to see where he is. White lives matter. That's the picture that's up on.
So that's the picture that he sent me that I fucking
house slave.
Candace Owens.
I wouldn't call Kanye a house slave. He's mentally deficient right now, or I should say, he's mentally disabled because he took a really nasty hit, and you could see that it rattled his cage. And as someone who has, you know, a couple family members who are affected by mental illness, I could kind of see. I'm not calling it mental illness, but you could see the effects of like he's punch drunk.
Yeah, he's not 100% in
but he's
control of his facilities.
It's like the hit, you know. Just let's say if the wiring in his brain was like that after the hit, it was so effed up that now it's connecting like this, and it's super jumbled. So he's getting thoughts out there. He could do it, but they're just, you know, based in really
yeah. So
odd,
the picture is him and Candace Owens, who's. I can't stand that bitch.
She's a house slave.
I cannot.
Or she's a grifter of the highest order.
She's a grifter of the highest order.
I'll tip my hat. But
she's a grifter.
It's all like, dude, that makes you look hella bad.
Like it. Do so. Like for those of you who are Candace Owens, do some do research on her. Just do research on her.
On anything she says, because it can all be
like all and bitch. I hope you hear bitch. Shut the fuck up when it comes to politics. I know that's how you get your fuck. You talk about how people need to be self-sufficient. You know, shouldn't be getting government help. This, that, bitch. You and your family were on fucking food stamps.
Yeah, that's how she knows. That's the Republican thing. I don't think you should get help, but I believe I should get help.
Just like the other dumb bitch, Bieber, whatever the fuck her name is.
Bobert?
Sure, Bobert, whatever the fuck her name is. The dumb bitch that got her GED on the fucking campaign and then wants to talk about people that actually went to college.
Yeah, they're idiots.
And not dumb like she's actually dumb. Not like, oh, well, you know, she didn't have an education. Like, you can be intelligent and not have an education. She's dumb.
She's just an idiot.
She is fucking dumb.
You don't... Apparently, right now, you don't have to be intelligent to be anywhere in politics, but specifically with the Republican Party. They just don't. They don't need it.
But she's another one. She said something along the lines of, I never needed help when I was, like, essentially paraphrasing, obviously.
I never needed help. But so what was being on welfare?
No, like, I never, help yourself out. I didn't need help when I was on fucking food stamps. Like, that's paraphrasing. That's not the exact verbiage she used, but that was the thought that she put out there, was essentially, I did it by myself on food stamps. Like, that's not doing it yourself. That's me doing it for you.
Yeah, that's everybody who has ever fucking worked have paid into that program, which it did what it was supposed to do, help you out. So why?
And I don't have a problem with people utilizing it. I have a problem with people that utilize it telling other people that really need it to feed their kids that they need to be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
they're working two jobs.
And they need that. That says something more about the government and how they govern than it does the person who's working.
And getting back to Candace Owens, not only was her family on welfare, but she used to talk on and be a part of the Democratic Party and Democratic this, that, and the other until someone on the right side, on the conservative side, started cutting her a check, and then all of a sudden she's Miss Right Wing.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is it's one thing
you were literally
correct about.
You were literally bought and paid for to be a mouthpiece for them. You don't have a problem with that. Whatever, make your fucking money, but don't sit like those people that fucking follow her. Wake the fuck up. I'm not saying you gotta go vote for fucking Joe Biden. He's a dumb piece of shit too. But wake the fuck up.
For real.
I mean, and most of you aren't even the ones that are going to be watching this anyway, if it ever even gets out there. Like, but dude, you need to wake up and realize that all the shit you're saying about the Democrats or CNN or this or that is exactly what they're doing to you with Fox News and the Republican Party. Like, exact cookie cutter.
If there's one thing that you can count on, if Fox News or Republican says that a Democrat is doing anything,
they're doing it themselves.
Yes.
They're doing
that's how they got the idea to come up with that lie. They're dry snitching on themselves. They're truly a piece of shit party. How do you say, hey, you 100+ Americans, spend more time with this Iranian, regime that don't like you and, for all we know, are mistreating you, be it not feeding you or shit, you're being fucking held hostage. That's enough. And they're going to be like, hey, I know Jimmy Carter negotiated you to leave already, but we feel that it would look better for our guy if you peasants stood locked up longer, so my guy gets the credit. That's the Republican Party. They're pieces of shit. They really are. And I'm not saying that the Democrats are any better. It just that right there, to me, constitutes betrayal. And they did it solely for power. You can't trust people like that. I urge everyone, all 4 of you who are listening,
4.5,
to really, really go to your, if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to this, hop on your phone if you're not already on it,
or
hop on the
whatever internet machine you have,
and look up just go to YouTube because it's more palatable there. Look up, human civilization, the first human civilization, and then just rock that goddamn train all the way till you get to today, and you will understand that most of the shit that's being spewed to you now, to us now, it's no different from the shit that's been spewed then. It just, there's advances that came along the way. We have this technology, they had their technology, you know, and its governments are there to control people. They really
That's
are.
real shit.
You know, it's a dual purpose. It's been hijacked because you really do, when there's a lot of people and we're in a group, we do need some sort of management.
I mean, we got in arguments in high school with a couple individuals about anarchy.
Anarchy doesn't work. It's fucking stupid.
Like,
because
and the argument that was always thrown up was there was a small community in Spain right around early World War II that was an anarchist society, and it lasted for a couple years. Yeah, and then it failed.
Well, this is my
and the thing is too with anarchy, the smaller the group involved, the longer it will last.
Yeah, the larger the group, it's going to collapse.
We're more or less we're still pack animals, which there are, you know, the way packs work. There's pecking orders essentially. There's jobs divvied out. There's leadership. As humans, in general, there's you know, the outliers, but in general, as humans, there still needs to be someone giving direction. And especially with a lot of people, the way that education system is now, they don't have the ability to function without basically being pointed in a direction.
Yeah. That's way too much. Well, that's besides the point. But I urge everybody to learn, you know, human history. Do not segregate by country or race, because race is super.
I mean, we had a whole fucking episode about race, and the term race
20
is...
minutes.
Huh?
20 minutes with the way we fucking go off on tangents.
That's true. It's still a whole episode. It's race is just the concept of race that we utilize as society.
Yeah, it's brand new.
It's brand new, and it's not actually termed properly.
I mean, because if you look at it, if you really, really look at it, the most, you know, subjugated, or one of the most subjugated groups in America are poor white people. There's hell of them niggas, and they're constantly being told shit that isn't true, turned on everyone else who's just as poor, if not poorer than them.
Yeah.
And then instead of them being all like, oh, well, let's band together, nah, they're gonna do shit like, you know, get rid of Mexicans and do this and do that. And it's like, you don't even, like, what are you doing, dude? You're getting mad because they're getting rid of coal. It's all like, well, yeah, shit gotta change. It gotta evolve. Why do you want to do a
dirty
job?
as far as like an energy source,
and you're getting,
and not
screwed.
Only that,
you're getting locked,
but you're not getting paid shit to go fucking down in that hole and literally kill yourself.
And it's like, come on, like, man. You work hard to get fucked over, and then you get mad at other people for standing up for you. Like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Well, unions will ruin shit. My girl's uncle, he's over there, oh, well, I didn't want to join a union because I don't want nobody telling me what hours I could work. I was like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? They're telling you what hours you can work, at what pay you get, when you get vacation, if you get vacation, when you can go to the doctors. Like, I really gotta go. My heart feels weird. Nah, I need this shipment fucking done. I don't give a shit what you got going on. My nephew who's over there sleeping, he deserves to sleep and get paid. You know, you go to work. You know, that's just an extreme example, but you get a lot of that shit. Example. And unions, and I was like, dude, first off, a union is gonna be like, no, Harlan is gonna work from this time to that time. Anything past that is fucking overtime. Yep. That's the state law.
It doesn't mean you can't work those hours. It means you get actually paid what you're supposed to during those hours.
That's why it's
and make sure that you have health insurance. It makes sure you have retirement, and make sure.
And that right there is why you take away from education, because if you can't speak, you cannot properly articulate what the fuck you're thinking, and on top of that, you can't even properly cognate what the fuck is going on.
Yep.
And you know what helps is educating yourself to, you know, again, history. It's not going to give you the whole playbook, but you could spot shit.
And I mean, that's something that we did throughout high school and before, and we would watch History Channel for entertainment purposes, or not even entertainment, but
I loved it. I still do.
Like there's nothing wrong with supplementing what you get from school too, especially in topics that are interesting.
Well,
and
history in school is dry as fuck because they're just giving you names and places and dates, and you don't get any of the real backstory. You don't get anything that would really make you like, oh shit, that dude was a boss. Oh shit, that chick was awesome as shit. Because part of this, and this is what irritates me, this fake wokeism, where they're all like, look, we got black chicks, that female king. I thought the movie that they were making was the actual queen from somewhere in West Africa, or like northwestern Africa, I forget where, but she literally fought the Portuguese. She fought them tooth and nail to keep her country. She did it. She won. And she did have some female warriors, but not a lot, because it doesn't make any sense in antiquity and the old world. Last time I checked, we can't make more people if the fucking women are dead.
You only need one or two dudes. You need a dozen women to make 12 kids.
So it's all like, she serves her role better in thinking, or what they did, commanding. And there's many women throughout history that actually commanded troops on the battlefield and were bad. There was an Achaemenid Persian emperor who was literally murdered by one. I want to say either Darius the first or the second went out and was like, bitch, what? And she was all like, homeboy, you ain't conquering my motherfucking land. That's not happening. And they're speaking with the river in between them, and which is a natural border in antiquity. And the Persian dude was all like, bitch, I'm gonna take your shit. And she said, nigga, I will murder you, then I will cut your fucking head off and make a goddamn bowl out of your skull. Do not play with me. Leave my land, or take your army elsewhere. He didn't. He was all like, bitch, I told you, I'm coming for your shit. You ain't nothing but a woman. And, well, the Persians weren't really like that. But she was like, bruh, all right, look, either you march 3 days back from the river and I come over and we fight, or I march 3 days from the river and then you come over and we fight. Pick one, nigga. And then he was all like, you run your mouth, bitch. I'm a whoop. And then she was like, all right, 3 days back. They went 3 days back. That Persian dude came over the motherfucking river, and later that night, she was drinking wine out of homeboy's motherfucking skull. So women are very capable of doing a lot of shit, and I'm not even gonna get into that. People are capable of a lot of shit. And the more
you want to make a movie about a strong female warrior,
do that one. And that's who they believe. Her and that tribe, that little nation state back in antiquity, they're believed to be the Amazonians. They think that tribe is where the myth of the women huge as shit, because she had balls, and she was like, nah, everyone in my kingdom fights. It ain't just one person. We'll fuck you up, bro. And then it became, because back in the day, it could be man or woman, as long as, kind of like the queen is, how the queen was seen as that's the queen, even though back in the day, it would only be recognized the male heir. But that was only due to some bitch-ass law to keep I want to say, so the Holy Roman Empire could usurp power from the Byzantine Empire, the actual Roman Empire. They're like, she can't be queen because she's a woman and she can't hold
that's
power.
That's what a queen is.
And it's all like, well, what? No. What the fuck are you talking about? But ancient bullshit. I mean, contemporary bullshit too.
It really is.
It's literally anything anybody could say to gain power. That's really what it was. And coming from back in the day, we were bigger and stronger. So it's like, hey, chick, shut up. And half the time, it was, the peasant dude who's all like, you know what, damn, Cindy, you're right. Bow! Ow, where'd that nigga come from? It's like, keep your bitch quiet. It's like, fuck, that hurt. And she's over there like, ooh, fuck. What I say will affect everyone in the fucking house. Damn it, I guess I better be quiet. That and the whole rapping silence into them for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Yeah, it's fucked up. Dudes are horrible. Not so much anymore, but yeah.
I mean, there's still...
chicks are just as bad, but we kind of were like, no, you have to be nice. Because you pop out the babies, so be nice for a little bit until I need you to be mean and really, really brutal. Alright? Deal.
And break.
Yep. Alright. Hey, I brought him back. He's still alive, but I gotta get more. Kill him for me. And then run out. Or, nowadays, I gotta kill this nigga. You drive the car. Bow, 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 bow. Alright, come on, let's go. Don't tell nobody. I love you. Let's go fuck. And that's, pretty much how my uncle and my aunt met. Rest in peace, motherfucker. That's the American love story. Come on, baby, let's go murder a nigga real quick. And that's pretty much like we're a nation of serial killers. We are. When you look into it, it's all like, damn, there's a lot of serial killers in America. Go look up that true crime history. There's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's what it was. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you are 100% right. He said, not too short, that Kyrie needs to, pay attention to what he's saying, because a lot of, young people look up to him. And, unfortunately, I never looked up to anybody. Why would you do that? They're humans. Humans are fucking flawed. You look up, the deeds that made them great and the decisions that they, analyze the decisions they made to make that happen, but don't look at the person, because a lot of times people are, they're flawed. They're gonna do some shit where you're like, oh, really, Bill Cosby? Damn, man. So like, fuck. Come on, Louis C.K. Why are you beating off like that? That's just creepy.
Yeah.
And it's also fucked up. He did ask permission, and you bitches did say yes. I don't know about the phone one. The phone one is really just creepy, my nigga. What the fuck are you doing? So like, if you need that to finish when you masturbate, maybe let's take a break. Yeah, take a little break. Or, since we have money, hire a hooker. She could be your assistant. You can make money. Don't pull a Vince McMahon and use the company to fucking pay
off. Yeah.
It's like, dude, why? You have more than enough money. Just pay her out of your own pocket. I don't get that. Why? And
now you've opened it up to where the government can get involved because you're allocating, company resources.
Yeah, it's all like, fuck, man. You're over here messing shit up for yourself. We need to bring back concubines. Really, concubines are awesome. And I'm not sexist. If a chick wants to have multiple dudes, why not? Go get a bunch of little 18-year-olds. I'd have been happy at 18 years old to be like, ooh, it's Tuesdays. That means it's my day. Yeah, let's get to work. And she'll be like, yeah, that's why I hired this little motherfucker. All right, now get out of here. You're done. Peace. Go. I have work to do. And I'll be like, all right, that's what the fuck I wanted anyway. Bye. Time to go play some baseball. It's a win-win. And I forgot where I was. I don't know if it was a comedian, but he goes, older women should always be with younger dudes. That nigga meant like 15. I was like, I don't know about that motherfucker. Like 18, okay. When I was 15, I would have been like, all right. And where the fuck were all these teachers when we were young? No one would ever know. No, that's not true. I'd probably say something now, but I wouldn't reveal the teacher. I'd be like, man, you don't even know. Nobody would know. I wouldn't tell him, wouldn't tell my dad. No, I might tell my dad, just tell him to shut the fuck up, don't tell nobody. My dad's cool enough, he'd be like, all right, don't get her pregnant. And I would have been like, I won't. I know, you gotta wrap it. You gotta be a Native American.
Cyrus the Great.
And Arapaho.
This whole time I've been looking up to try and figure out who it was. It was Cyrus the Great.
Cyrus, not Darius. Cyrus. It's like, man, where is it? Where is it? But Kareem is 100% right. Kyrie, you're a fucking idiot. Shut your mouth. You know, I totally believe in the freedom of speech, and I believe in my freedom to tell you to shut the fuck up. Yeah, that's not how it was. They said she legit they have, it's an old painting, but they have, first off, he's white, and she's white. Like, they're in fucking, like, they're 2 feet from fucking Africa, yet they're white. Like, that shit, it boggles my mind.
It boggles it.
She, the painting has her cutting his head off at the mouth. So what is it? Is it the mandible? Jaw? Yeah. So that is removed. So it's just the top, the skull cap. Well, actually, this is skull cap. But the fucking, whatever they call the top piece. The top piece. You know, that was removed. She literally, it was just the cap. So it was like, you know, as deep as they could get it without, you know, having shit spill out of it. She was a boss, man. Legit.
Yeah, he went there with 200,000 troops.
Yeah.
It was like, cake.
So
her,
like 10,000 fighting.
What? Tomiris?
Yeah.
We're going to go with Queen Tomiris of the Massagote, which were nomadic people known for their horsemanship. I'm reading this off of allthatisinteresting.com.
Which, at that point, meant anyone from the Asian steppe. So that could be Proto-Mongols, Proto-Chinese, Proto-anything from that.
They were north of the empire. So north of the Persian Empire.
So that's like Slav.
Probably. Like somewhere in that. They were in like that near Mediterranean region, you know. So they were nomads, and they wanted to go conquer that land, and went with 200,000 troops and figured, you know, her and her people would be an easy conquest.
Oh, no.
They were wrong. Well, more specifically, he and his advisors were wrong.
Oh, and his armor was said to be fucking immaculate. Fish scales. And I don't mean big plates. I mean little small plates of fish scales.
We still use that that concept. We still use that for our tanks and stuff like that, where it's the overlapping and
their armor was ornate. They, in one of the battles, they got a Persian king off, or a nobleman off of his horse, and they're trying to stab him, and the armor's so good they couldn't get through, so they held the motherfucker's helmet, and then they took it, and it's 5 dudes, so you had 4 on the arms.
So
one
she ruled the land north of Persia and east of the Caspian Sea.
So look that up on a map. I hope you know your geography.
Yeah, better. So they lived in the steppes of Central Asia.
Yeah, see, damn, do I know my shit. And actually, look up Dan Carlin, King of Kings. You need to listen to that. They're like 5-hour fucking podcasts, but you get so much world history. It's awesome. I want him to do. Hey, Dan, do one. I know this will take like 50 years, but do one on China. Dude, I would hate to be a Chinese peasant. Fucking A.
Today.
Literally.
Not just historically, today.
Ever.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the Chinese dude and the Russian dude have been the most shat upon motherfucker in all of history. You look, especially China. China, you're like, I'm just a simple farmer. I'm just doing my shit. I'm just awesome at making this motherfucking rice, these soybeans.
So like the more I read on her, it's like I knew of her, but the more I read on her,
yeah, she's awesome.
This is the woman. Like if you want that strong woman, warrior action, like.
That's it.
It's it, dude.
Then they'll bastardize it, and they'll make this bitch some witch who fucking why are you making it mystical? We have an actual historical fucking piece we could do on somebody,
and it's awesome. Not just a single woman. The Massagote women rode horses, fought in battle, and ruled. Like they were a people ruled by women. Which that makes sense why they were thought to be the Amazons, like why they became the Amazons. So here, a Greek historian wrote And when I say Greek, I mean
That
ancient
means
Greek
the Greeks,
historians.
the Greek, this is about 15 to 2,000 years before Greece.
So this was 6th century BCE. So they fought both on horseback and on foot. They used bows and lances, but their favorite weapon is the battle axe.
Oh man, the axe is so bad. Especially the French get their name from the axe. Theirs was the franc, and what they would do is when they were running into battle, or someone was running at them, they throw.
It's actually a pretty well written article.
Yeah, they throw
Thank you,
the axe.
Genevieve Carlton.
Good shit. They throw the axe at the ground so it tumble and jump. Like fucking high hoppers and bad bounces in baseball.
That's nasty.
So it would roll
That's
and then bounce.
nasty, and it's getting teeth in it too now.
So it'd literally be at the ground, then they're running at you, and then it would be two more at you, and then they'd come with their actual battle axe, and you would.
Them
and
frogs were nasty.
Yeah. They were nasty. And, which goes to the Mongolian archer is known to be one of the best. The Comanche, the American soldiers were saying, and it was written down, they were like, the actual accounts saying that the last arrow was in the air. He's firing about 5 to 6. The last arrow is in the air before the first arrow hits.
That's nuts.
So me and him were just standing there, we're talking, or sitting there eating, and they're flying through the air, and then it misses me.
For those of you who don't know, a gun is loud. A bow and arrow, especially at distance,
you're
silent.
You
may hear a little whistle as the arrow comes down, as it fucking enters your body. Little what is cutting through the air. That's about all you're going to hear.
And even if you're close enough to hear it, it's going to be, and you're going to be like, and at distance, it's just going to sound like a slight little thud. It's going to take a second.
And
to register.
Distance, it's not going to sound like anything.
And you're talking about when we were still allowed to drink. Motherfuckers were allotted actual drink. Like, Anthony, you cannot surpass, I think, a nigga, I want to say something ridiculous, like a half pint of whiskey a day.
That's a lot.
Like, bro.
I mean, it's kind of scary to think. Like,
bro,
at work,
we did
I have
shit
people that
drunk
fucking
as fuck back in the day. Everybody, hey, and fuck you, Confederate faggots. Ooh, sorry, I shouldn't say that word. It's hard when you grow up with a lot of gay people and they throw that word around so freely that you just, and they, when you say it, they're just all like, right? And it's shit. But
like,
I
bitch.
apologize.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say it on here.
Hey.
But
hey,
my cousin, who I
gays,
consider
do your
a
thing,
little
bro.
brother.
We
take that word back, man.
Yeah, we have said numerous times on here, bro, I got no problem with gay people. I got no problem. I got a problem with speaking.
Spoaching.
But, hey, you want to love people of the same fucking gender that you were born into? You want to love both? I don't give a fuck.
Just don't hurt nobody.
Do you? Yeah. Hey, if it's consensual and they're of age.
Well,
and they're of age.
Yeah, that's a big one. Bryan Singer.
Go for it, bro.
Who else? Jimmy Savile.
Kevin Spacey.
Oh, yeah. What's the other one? The dude who broke the news on Jimmy Savile in England, he said there's another one who's being protected. They're all being protected.
They're all being protected.
Dude, they used to do that shit all the time. But going back to accidentally using that word, take it back, because I like it.
You gays, you lesbians, you fucking bi, all of you, bro, do you.
You're people. I don't give a shit.
Hey, what you and the person that you are attracted to and is attracted to you do has zero to do with me. Big fat zero. Nothing.
I personally was I was raised to, they're just people.
Yeah.
That's all they are. I was raised by them, with them, alongside them. Never had a problem with them beyond who you are as a
The problems that we would have with any of them at any point in life had nothing to do with who they were attracted to.
And
I had a problem with you as a person or something that you did that slighted me. That's it.
Nobody. I can't even think of anybody in that realm. It's all been, honestly, the straight people. There's a lot more.
I'm trying to think. I don't think so. The only one that got on my nerves was the kid in high school that, like, the vegan kid that kept fucking shoving that shit in people's face. But my issue was just more, bro.
Because he was like, I don't know who you're talking about.
He was a kid who literally vegan, and like at assemblies and shit would like. But it's like my issue wasn't that anything other than, bro, I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Like,
did we have any issues with them at, like, homophobic issues at school? No, we didn't.
I mean, other than people like calling each other names, like as far as like, and not even gay people, like straight dude calling a straight dude. That was about it.
Yeah, I'd never experienced it. Not in any of the school. Ooh, it lets you do that? Oh, shit, you're going to be in trouble.
I mean, we didn't really deal with a lot of, like, the traditional trope issues.
I got in trouble for saying spit, let me tell you that. I got a lot of
really
trouble. But I said it like, nigga. I was like, what's up, my nigga? He said, what's up, my nigga? I said, what's up, my spick? She lost it. I was all like, to the younger generations, they don't mean the same things. That's why they say it a lot. Because I'm not going to drop his name, but my cousin, he will drop that F word all of the motherfucking time. I mean, and I've heard, I literally cannot say it with the same amount of venom that they do. I've heard
when they say it at someone like that, it's like, ooh, like, damn, that cut deep.
I want to fight you for saying it.
Right.
Like that nigga. Like, holy shit, motherfucker.
Like, that shit cut deep.
They are good at cutting deep. Like, if you want to talk shit about somebody, you need to go to find a sassy gay person. And that
dude, especially like the super flamboyant, like
they can break you down.
And man, some of them are some of the funniest motherfuckers to have a conversation with.
When we were in 9th grade, homeboy that dressed up as Britney Spears that one year.
Who was it? I don't remember. I remember he was like 2 years ahead of us. I think.
Way ahead of us. But somebody said something to him, not joke like. They said it. Homeboy cut into them, and he was sitting there. He was looking like he was wanting to fight, and then the look in that senior's face, it was like, if you fight him, I'm pretty sure you are going to get up. That is straight rage in that motherfucker's eyes. You will get beat down. Like, do not play. Like my dad says, before anything, we're men first. And I was all like, holy shit. Like, dude,
I've seen some like gay dudes fight, and they ain't bitches.
Motherfuckers need to realize not everybody's gonna act stereotypical in anything, any genre. And there's a lot of don't underestimate anybody.
Hell no.
Women can take. You'd be surprised at the beating some women could take. Listening to some videos.
That doesn't mean go test it.
No. But women are pretty fucking resilient. I was listening to a true crime thing, and the cop said when he got there, something was obstructing him. It took him a while to get there, and he goes, this guy was not stopping beating her. I'm yelling. She's taking an ass whooping, and this dude's buff. He did not knock her out. She stood there, took it. She got fucked up, but did not lose consciousness once. I was all like, damn, that is a beast. I want to say he was an MMA fighter. No, she did lose consciousness when he fucking choked her out. And then she came back, but when he was hitting her, she was taking him literally like a champ.
Jesus.
I was like, man, so people need to realize, human beings we're capable of a lot of things. Don't
underestimate a single motherfucking person, doesn't matter what they look like. Because I've seen fights where, like, scrawny little homie just fucking lost it.
And you're like, oh.
And I've also seen fights where big jacked homie, fucking Bubba over there, can't fucking swing. Can't fight.
Nope, and gets
lit up.
Yeah, it's fucking this crazy.
So it don't matter, like, just, hey, don't underestimate shit. Don't trust shit. Don't trust your eyes.
Yeah, no, hey, first and foremost, just be respectful to everybody, because you don't know, especially nowadays, you don't know who got a gun. And
that's true. And
with these Republicans getting, bold as shit, they're just pulling their guns out. Did you see, I think it was either Florida or Texas, homeboy started shooting at, I want to say...
What was
Texas.
that, Florida or Germany, that skit on Loveline?
I think it was. And homeboy shot, he literally shot at the Tesla driver, and he only got aggravated assault, not attempted murder. It's like, you see what I mean?
At the very least, attempted manslaughter. Fuck.
He literally pulled over, stopped, got out of his car, and fired on him. It's like, come on, man.
Or homeboy, the old man that fucking went up to those kids that were skating, pulled up, got out, and pulled his gun on them.
Oh,
They were skating.
See, so now, nationwide, you know what needs to happen? Is do like a fucking LGBT Q, and I don't understand the Q, because it's like, well, I guess queer does mean weird, so you're taking it.
Yeah, I've actually asked a few people, and they're like, it's kind of gay, but it's like it's
weird.
Yeah,
queer means weird. I always thought that would be why pick that one? You're not
like weird. It's almost like queer should be used for nerds, like in the stereotypical society where it's weird that they would just want to go sit in the basement and play D&D or do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Well, it to me, that one feel more fucking...
But yeah, like, it feels
When I was younger, I used to think that was queer was an actual curse.
Yeah.
Because I was all like, what? Like, I don't know, something about it. Not too many words start with Q, so it just seemed like it was fucking...
Like, damn, you dug deep for that. Like, yeah, that must have some fucking heavy meaning. So yeah, like, the queer, like, the Q and LGBT, like, it definitely... Q,
mind you, this is coming from two straight niggas.
But it's like, I understand all the other ones. Like, queer just always, like, when that got added in, I'm like, but how is that different? Like, I always... assumed like one queer was weird, but when you're utilizing it referring to people, it was just that they were gay. Well,
and all the gay people I grew up with who were adults were like, don't call me queer.
Yeah.
So to me it was all like, oh yeah, that's a bad one.
So I just didn't understand, and I still am not fully understanding who the Q is supposed to represent in that acronym. The other ones, I understand.
Yeah, you labeled it pretty good.
I understand them.
Quite accurately.
And, hey, I support you. Like, do you. It does not affect me at all. Like, that's the thing that doesn't...
I've been to an all-gender bathroom at...
I'm weirded out going in there because...
No, they're nice. I like them.
No,
looks like
I just don't want to fucking blow it up in there and have some little girl have to go in there after me.
Hey, they deemed that your nostrils were capable of dealing with this type of attrition, so I'm sorry, little dude.
Like, that's really more what it is. It's not like, oh, I'm worried about going and using
you shit in public. I don't shit in public.
I do an emergency because... Never had an accident, but I came damn near close before.
I was in second grade when I had this accident, but man, someone legit, they were in there for a week just not flushing, a pile of shit in the bathroom. Anybody who's been to Garfield Park in the Mission before 2006 knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Dude, it was...
And granted, this happened in 95. It was everywhere. The bathroom was white. was
No, it
supposed to be white. And it is literally smeared. And I remember my little second grade self, like, and you know when your stomach hurts and you know you got to shit,
and
it's
there's
not
and,
just
and you've
at
gotten
your
to
ass.
a point to where
You could feel the pressure in your stomach.
yeah,
You're
and
like,
it's like
oh, you can
everything's
feel it in
hurting,
your throat.
everything like your back's starting to hurt, like because you're the pressure fucking building, and
I remember I was wearing
you were
tight
using every muscle fiber in your sphincter to keep that shit closed.
Keep it. And when I opened and I seen that, I was in such amazement. My bowels just, like my colon was all like, no, and fucking ripcord plant, and it just was like, just feel. I was like, oh. And then I told Brother Jomo, I was like, Brother Jomo, man, we gotta go. I was like, I crapped myself, and he got hot. He was like, what, little brother? He said, come on, man. Not like that. He wasn't all like that, but he was all like, man, why you go to the bathroom yourself, little brother? And I was all like, man, go look at that goddamn toilet. And then he walked over there and he looked in and he goes, I'm sorry, little brother. I really apologize. I'm pretty sure. I think I told the story.
I think you did,
like, oh,
but it's still
man.
funny. It still holds.
He was like, all right, I'm really sorry. He gathered everybody up and he was like, we gotta go. And I remember my tidy whities were lit. I had to like hold up my motherfucking underwear because it was so much shit.
Fuck.
My dad he was pretty happy about that. He was like, God damn it. And I was like, you did not see the fucking toilet. And then Brother Jomo was like, no, yeah, that toilet was fucking annihilated. Like, he goes, nobody was going to the bathroom in there. Like, nah, you catch hepatitis. You catch all the hepatitis up in that motherfucker. It was not cool, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, and that wasn't the last time I seen a pile of shit that high in a toilet. Tell you what, you do construction, you will see some like, damn.
Like, damn, bro.
Not even a bag. Oh, which reminds me, there was this homeless dude that lived in the Mission, and this dude would shit in a bag. And you know, when he would get full, he'd get rid of the bag. So there was no garbage cans out. So we put that shit right behind my dad's truck. So my dad wakes up to go to work. He backs up, hears something pop. What the fuck? He said, then he's all like, starts driving me. Man, it smells like shit. Smells like shit hella bad. He's all driving at red light. He's looking at his boots. What the fuck? And then he's driving to work. He goes, it smells hella bad the whole way there. I get out, I look all in the truck. I don't see shit. It's later in the day and he leaves work. And he's walking by that tire and he's like, oh man, what the fuck? There's just shit all in the wheel well. All in the fucking tread of the tire.
Oh, fuck.
He was hot. He's like that fucking bum. He was hot as fuck. People were like, damn, dude, it smells hella bad. He was hot, but on that note, I gotta go. I gotta catch the BART. Bizarre.
Oh, damn.
I was hilarious.
What a story to go out on. I had a couple good shit ones. We'll save those.
Yeah, let's talk about that next time.
Holy fuck. Oh, damn. That poor truck.
Yeah, man, he was hot. He was hot. On that note, go Giants, go Niners. You know, hey, A's, man, you need a new ownership.
You need a new owner.
But I was thinking about this. Sharks, why don't you swap with the Kings and become the Sacramento Sharks, and then the Kings become the San Jose Kings? Then you could split. A lot of people like basketball, and the Kings got more fans, I believe, in the Bay than they do in fucking Sacramento.
I think for the same reason the A's can't move to San Jose. I think territorial rights as far as like TV and stuff like that goes. I might be wrong. I don't know how the NBA works as far as that goes, but I'm assuming that that's what it is. But yeah, this motherfucker got to go. On that note, hey, those of you on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe, like, comment down below. Come on now, give us some topics, because we're barely treading water here.
We don't pay attention. Listen.
Hey, if I don't pay attention in school, why would I do it at home?
And when you're allowed to take HGH, you're kind of excluded from the GOAT conversation. Sorry, LeBron. Peace out. Stay black.
Deuces.